Well, I've just finished doing a DVD set called Absolute Beginners. And the idea here is I take everything from the very beginning. So if you're brand new to guitar, DVD number 1 is the one for you. Absolute Beginners. I take it right from the beginning. We go through some of the basics like naming the parts of the guitar, things that you should know, names of the strings, how to tune the guitar, just some basic open chords on the guitar, how to play G, how to play C, how to play A minor. I also talk about how to put some of these chords together to get some really short chord progressions to set you up for learning songs later on. So when you learn some of these basic chords, I talk a little bit about theory, not too much, don't want to scare people with the theory, but I get into it a little bit in the sense that there are minor sounds, which people tend to describe as dark or sad. There's major sounds, people describe as happy. And there's dominant sounds, which are a little bit in between, a little funky, a little bluesy, not quite major, not quite minor. So we learn those 3 basic sounds, and I try and get you to be able to hear those sounds so you can differentiate. So when you hear somebody else play a C chord, you can hear that that's a C chord, that's a major chord. When you hear somebody play, for example, a G7, you can say, aha, that's not major, it's not minor, maybe that's a dominant chord. So we learn the chords and try to develop the ears to appreciate those sounds. Now everybody's different, so depending on how much time you put into your practicing, people will get through this DVD at a different pace. But I would say generally, if you start from nothing, from ground zero, and you're putting in a half an hour a day, you could probably get through this DVD in maybe 3 months or so and be ready for the second one. But everybody's different, so that's just kind of a general assessment of the DVD series. So the idea with the first DVD is that if you're an absolute beginner, hence the name, Absolute Beginners, this will get your starting off the ground. Hopefully by the time you finish the DVD, you'll be able to play some basic chords, some short chord progressions, and maybe you'll be ready for the second DVD where we get into some more advanced techniques such as lead guitar, learning some scales. So it builds a really strong foundation. If you've never played before, this is the DVD. This is the one for you. In part number 2, the second DVD, I talk about some lead guitar techniques. We learn a few scales, minor pentatonic scale, blues scale. I also talk about how to connect some of these patterns, and we get into some techniques such as hammer-ons and pull-offs, some of the basics you need to know to develop your lead guitar playing. And I also apply these over a backing track so you can try some of these ideas out for yourself. Also in the second DVD, I talk about how to get a tone. That's one thing that can be kind of tricky if you're brand new for guitar. You hear a record, what are they doing? How do they get that sound? How does AC/DC get that sound? How does Metallica get that sound? How did Ritchie Blackmore do it? Or whoever you may listen to. So I talk about the different parts of the guitar, what humbucking pickups do, what single coil pickups do, how you can set your amp to get a bluesy sound, how you can get a full-on metal sound, what kind of pickups are Metallica using, how do they go about getting that sound. So the second DVD delves into that.